Yo, let me know if y'all can hear me out there before we get started. Just want to make sure the audio is good. What's good? What's good? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. Okay, I got a confirmation. All right. Let's get this underway. So good afternoon, my passport bros. Also, no excuse family out there. So, today I got a special guest. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys that's in the travel community are familiar with him. I've known him for, I would say, indirectly for some time now, because we have been in similar Facebook groups, over, I would say, over some years. And, I've seen this brother, quietly just grow his channel, his content, well-versed in Brazil. So definitely, I'm, grateful that he has come and we can share, our mutual experiences as far as Brazil, because there are some cities we have in common, and then there are cities that he's been to that I haven't been to, and vice versa. So we'll just kind of talk about, some of those things as well. So I'm gonna bring brother Dennis John Pierre on. So let's get it going. Yo,
What's happening?
nothing much, man. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Just living life.
That's good, man. Brazil, man, being in Brazil is living life, man. I will say that.
Sure.
How long? So how long? I know this is you're on vacation. So when did you arrive in Brazil this time around?
I arrived in Brazil the end of December 28th or 29th, I believe.
Okay, cool. And
At this point, it's more than a vacation.
now I hear you, man. So you're gonna be, and how long are you gonna be in Brazil?
I'm gonna be in Brazil until the middle of April.
Okay. Sounds good. So, man, for those that may not know who you are, introduce yourself, and we'll get underway.
Well, my name is Dennis Jean-Pierre. I first found Brazil. Well, I first developed the desire to travel to Brazil after watching Al Grease's documentary called Frustrated Black Men in Brazil back in 2013. And I had always heard good things about Brazil over the years, but it wasn't until I watched that documentary until I said, okay, I'm going. Because I encounter a lot of brothers who tell me, I'm here in Brazil because of you. Well, I'm here in Brazil because of that brother, Al Grease. So ever since then, I made that first trip, 2013, and it just changed my life.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that was before the Charles Tyler influence on exposing people to Brazil.
I found Charles Tyler after my second trip to Brazil.
Okay.
I made one trip to Brazil. My first trip was in August of 2013. My second trip was in December of 2013. And right after I came home, I found Charles in like February of 2014. And I thought to myself, hey, here's a brother who's talking the same stuff I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I even got a chance to talk to him on the phone a couple times. He was a cool brother. I was sad when he passed.
Okay. But you never had an opportunity to meet him in person.
No, I never met him in person.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know, man. So you know a lot of the background history, man, as far as that, at least from Al Grease, and I know Charles Tyler used to talk about Al Grease a lot, and Tariq Nasheed also. You know, so those are kind of some of the beginning things, and I did some videos kind of talking about the beginning of what I look at as the Passport Bro era. So cool. What made you want to explore other cities outside of Rio, for example?
Well, for my first several trips or so to Brazil, it was always to Rio de Janeiro. And after a while, I got tired of Rio de Janeiro. I got tired of, seeing the same things over and over again. So I said, I want to see something different. But I didn't feel comfortable traveling to other cities in Brazil until I felt that my Portuguese was strong enough. So once I felt my Portuguese was strong enough, which was last year, that's when I started branching out. And from what I've seen so far, I've been to 10 different cities in Brazil. And Brazil is a beautiful, beautiful country. Beautiful place.
Okay. So you've been to 10 cities and counting. I think I'm at 13, and
you're the only person I know who's been to more cities in Brazil than me.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna surpass that, man. But
it's been an adventure for sure.
Okay, are you thinking about maybe in the near future maybe writing a book?
A couple of brothers have suggested that, but you never know. I mean, I think my YouTube channel is sufficient. I mean, pictures speak 1,000 words. You know what I'm saying? I think the video footage that I have can say much more about Brazil than any book can. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you're right. Real quick, shout out to the people in the chat, man. I see y'all in here. I appreciate it.
I see everybody in the chat.
So if y'all have any questions, I'm gonna definitely make sure one of us is able to answer about Brazil. So let's get to it, man. So what cities have you been to, and just kind of talk about some of the cities outside of the three we're gonna focus on today, but just talk about some of the cities that you've been to on this current trip and in the past.
Well, I went to Rio. I spent a month and a half in Rio. That's always my first stop. Then I went to a city called Balneário Camboriú. A few of my subscribers brought it to my attention. I had never heard of this place until I went and did a Google image search. And I'm like, wow, this place is beautiful. People was telling me that it's the most advanced city in Brazil. It's the Dubai of Brazil. So I decided to go over there and check it out. And it's a beautiful place, man. It really is the most advanced city. It's a cleaner, it's a more compact, cleaner, safer version of Rio de Janeiro.
What is it called again?
How
do you say it?
It's a small. How you say the city? The name of the city? Balneário Camboriú.
Oh man, I want to type that in the chat, man.
I'm gonna write it in the chat right now.
All right. Okay.
It's kind of complicated to say. I didn't even know how to say it at first.
Okay. Wow.
There you go. I just wrote it.
Okay. So where is it located?
It's in Santa Catarina. It's like an hour and 15-minute flight southwest of Rio. So it's like 50 miles north of Florianópolis, basically.
Okay.
So I flew out there, and I stayed there for a week, and it's a beautiful city. It's very clean. It's very safe. I can walk through the street with my chain out. I can walk through the street with my phone out, and I don't have to worry about nobody trying to jack me. And it's places, it's neighborhoods in that city where it looks like Beverly Hills, it looks like Rodeo Drive. You know what I'm saying? It's mostly the demographics, the racial demographics is mostly white. I would say it's about 80% white.
Okay.
You got the beach area, the main beach area, and then you got another beach area just north of it that's a little more suitable for single people. So I went there. I went to a little beach town called Bombinhas. Some Brazilian friends of mine were telling me about it. It's like it's a beach town between Balneário and Florianópolis. So I went there for a week. I went back and forth between Bombinhas and Balneário for a week. And again, upscale place, upscale beach town. I went to Florianópolis for about a week and a half. I don't know if you saw my interview with my man Raphael. He's there right now. He plans on living there, so I went there to kick it with him.
Oh. Ralph from the BMO group.
No, not BMO Raphael, another Raphael that I interviewed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So how did you like Florianópolis? Because one of my friends went there before, and the way he described it, beautiful place, beautiful women, on the whiter side, of course, but he just said it was difficult for him to hook up because he felt a little out of place a little bit.
Yeah, it's like this, man. I've been there twice, and both times the people are a little frigid. It's a little harder to make friends there. I didn't have much success, hardly any success with the ladies. I only met one lady there and one lady there. She wasn't even from there. She was from Rio. I get the impression that they ain't really checking for brothers down there. So if you're gonna go there or bring somebody with you, don't go by yourself.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful city though. It's beautiful. It's safer. If you want to, it's not chaotic like Rio.
What about the weather?
Again, Santa Catarina is mostly white.
Okay.
I didn't have much success in Florianópolis. And it's not. I didn't want to come back there, but because Raphael was there, I thought he would show me some new places. And but it was still the same result. Beautiful place. It's just not for brothers, in my opinion.
Okay. And now that's a good. Now I respect something that you just said, because I would say most of the cities I've been to, I visited at least twice, just to make sure it wasn't a fluke.
Right.
Just to see a consistency. So when you do go at least twice, you could pretty much, in my opinion, you could pretty much take a brother's word on, on some of his viewpoints, So that's good to know that you've been there twice and you kind of said it's kind of like the same experience. So that's cool. If you don't mind, if you can remember off the top of your head, like what are the 10 cities that you've been to in Brazil?
I've been to Rio de Janeiro. I've been to Sao Paulo, Balneário Camboriú, Bombinhas, Florianópolis, Belo Horizonte, Salvador, Bahia, Recife, Fortaleza, and Manaus.
Okay.
And I've also been to a couple other small towns that are not even worth mentioning.
So I'm gonna try to remember, but I try to hold on one second. I try to mention the cities that I've been to, just in case people may not know as well. So we got some overlap: Rio, Fortaleza, Salvador, Recife. Now I'm used to saying Recife, but I forgot that the R is pronounced as an H. So so guys, keep that in mind. Maceió, Aracaju, São Luís. Maceió, yeah. São Luís, Belém. Macapa.
Oh yeah, Belém. I've been to Belém too.
Okay. Victoria, Belo Horizonte, Porto Seguro, and Ilhaus. It's not spelled how I'm saying it, but those are spots, man. So So yeah, keep in mind, and even Rio is pronounced Rio, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Rio Janeiro. That's how they say
Rio.
it.
Okay. Yeah, keep that in mind. The R words use the H sound. Just so guys that don't know. Um, Question real quick: which ones are better than Rio? Do you want to answer that right now?
Yeah, I get asked that all the time.
Okay.
For me, Rio's still number one. And
Yeah.
the reason why I say that is because Rio has every speed that you need. Has a lot of entertainment options, uh, beautiful beaches, beautiful women,
Mhm.
uh, great food, great weather. I mean, it has it all. I haven't encountered any city in Brazil so far that can match that exactly. You know what I'm saying? Fortaleza is number two on my list because it's got the beaches, it's got a lot of beautiful women, it's not tainted by a lot of tourists.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Uh, Great food, nice people. So I got number two on my list, Fortaleza.
Okay. And I agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with him. Now, Rio is not my favorite city. I like a city called Aracaju for personal reasons. I think the women are a little bit more. They have a lot. They have a lot more melanated women in Aracaju, and the beaches are nicer too. But the fun, the excitement, the tourism, the experience, Rio, hands down. I agree. Fortaleza number two. It has everything Rio has. It has just about everything Rio has, but it's a distant second. But I do agree with him on that. So y'all could definitely take his word on that. Another question for you: would you stay longer if you had residency?
Uh, I mean, I'm content right now staying maybe just 5, 6 months a year in Brazil. I'm content with that. I still got family in the United States, so I'm not ready to leave them permanently yet. And plus, I don't like the winters too much in Brazil, particularly in Rio. Uh, so
True,
I'm cool with coming back to the States during the summertime in the States and coming back to Brazil during the winters.
true. Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel the same way as you about the climate change in Rio. But there's other parts of Brazil I think that stay warm pretty much year round. Um, I'm not sure exactly what cities. I don't know, maybe Salvador. I think Fortaleza is pretty warm year round. They got a
Yeah,
rain season.
Fortaleza's hot all year round, and Manaus is hot all year round.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Um, Mike, do you keep in touch with Mike Burks?
I've never spoken to him. I've never,
Okay.
maybe a few chats here and there on Facebook, but I never actually spoke to him.
Okay. He's just another person that used to go to Manaus a lot. So I was just curious. Okay, cool, man. So I wanted to kind of get into talk about Belo Horizonte, um, a city we both visited. Just to kind of see, um, your perspective and my perspective, and then we'll go for the next. Let me. It's Jay Clyde. What up, bro? Another Brazilian traveler, man. Question: any plans for either of you to visit some of the cities in southern Brazil? You want to answer that? Yeah, no.
Nah, it's not my flavor, man. I think I've seen enough of the south of Brazil. It's not my flavor. I prefer melanin. I mean, I'll
Yeah,
go there just to look. I'll go to a place like maybe Porto Alegre just to check it out, but I won't go by myself because it's not my flavor.
yeah, yeah. Me, no. I mean, the more south is more whiter, if you want to say that, and more cooler too.
Right.
So Yeah, I don't have any interest in that. So I'm gonna share, I guess, some photos and vids of my trip in Belo Horizonte, and if there's anything that you been to or seen, you could chime in on that just to give people visuals while we talk about Belo Horizonte. Let me type that in the chat real quick. Horizonte.
Belo
Yeah, correct.
Horizonte.
Yeah, correct me on my pronunciation because I could definitely chop up some Brazilian words. Okay, so here, so here is basically pretty much like the center of Belo Horizonte, and I stayed in an Airbnb not too far from here, and this is like it's like a park. It's like a park in the middle of the city, and this is like water spews out and things like that. So I'll just kind of go through some of these slides real quick. Um, oh, this was kind of cool. I went to a spot and they had like all these old covers of like musicians, and you can see like most of them look like they like American artists, you know. And I thought this was kind of cool that they had this type of display. Yeah, this is another part. It was like a restaurant, and I liked it. This black. I like this background, and I did like seeing black images in Belo Horizonte. It was kind of good to see some influence there. Yeah, this is just like a bar. So I actually used a tour guide. I used the Airbnb tour guide for Belo Horizonte because there just wasn't enough info on the internet, and I had to make sure I didn't miss anything. So I did a tour guide to kind of show me, Belo Horizonte. They do have a lot of murals on their buildings. This is a bridge. I got a nice shot on. That's me. Another shot. One side of the bridge, was told to me is a little kind of rough, and then on the other side was kind of better. I don't remember which side, but this was kind of like showing me some of the visions in the city. So for you mongers out there, this was a spot. This was a spot I accidentally stumbled across. I use accidentally loosely, and they have a black barber. It says Barbara Negra. I thought that was pretty cool to see.
Barba Negra.
So yeah, that was my tour guide. Um, you can find him on Airbnb in Belo Horizonte. He actually showed me some of the spots that we probably would like to go to. Um, what is this right here? And this was like going. This is like towards a train station, and that's where I got that mural from. And this is like
the subway and the train station.
one of the train stops. But people come here for like they do concerts sometimes and different things like that, protests. And then this is another part.
Belo Horizonte Street Fair. They have every Sunday, different vendors and things like that.
Yeah, so every Sunday they have something where people come out and buy things on the street.
Food and beer early in the morning. It's like 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I think making fresh sugar cane juice. I just got. I think they was making some pastels.
Pastels look good.
And then I seen some cuties in here. I seen a couple cuties. This was like a market where they got different shops, different restaurants, and
Mercado Central.
you been here?
Yep.
Okay. What is it called again?
Central Market, Mercado Central.
Okay, yes, Central Market. I would say if you want to meet some chicks, I would say frequent this place if you want to see some chicks. I seen some black women, a fair amount of black women in the area as well. Very, very beautiful women I've seen in Belo Horizonte. So let me so that's kind of what I have as far as the PG stuff I can share on Belo Horizonte. So let me know your experience. If you have anything to share, I can share it on the screen as well. But just tell us about your experience in Belo Horizonte.
I stayed in Belo Horizonte for 5 days. I always heard some good things about it, and everything you heard about Belo Horizonte is true. Out of all the cities in Brazil I've been to, Belo Horizonte has the nicest people and the nicest women too. It's a smaller, cleaner, safer version of Sao Paulo. A lot of high-rise buildings. It looked like a mixture of Sao Paulo and Medellin, Colombia, because there's a lot of high-rise buildings and it's surrounded by mountains. There's no beach. It's pretty much the bar capital of Brazil. I heard there was over 12,000 bars in Belo Horizonte. I remember talking to an Uber driver and asking him about it, asking him, was it true? And he said he thinks there's more. So it's a lot of bars. It's sit-down culture. Everybody just sitting down, drinking beer, talking. I heard somebody ask a question in the chat. What's the racial demographics there? It's everything. It's more, you see more black people there. There's a lot of black people there. But it's a little of everything there. Everything. The only drawback with Belo Horizonte is that you have a lot of LGBTQ there. A lot. I think more than Rio.
Really?
Yeah, I encountered that a lot. As a matter of fact, I was doing quite a bit of cold approaching, and it was three or four women that I was interested in that I thought were cute. Turned out they were lesbian. So I'm like, shit, including 2 that I interviewed.
Wow.
So very nice people out there.
How much time did you spend there?
5 days.
Okay, that's cool. I think I was only there for like a day or 2. I think I was just I think a day.
Yeah. I mean, there's no beach there.
Yeah.
There's no beach, so I didn't want to spend too much time. Just in case I didn't like it, I didn't want to spend too much time. But it's definitely worth going to check out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's not too far from Rio, so it should be a short flight from Rio de Janeiro. I usually write notes on my trip, so I'm gonna read from my trip report when I did Belo Horizonte, and I said it was a pleasant city. It's calm, not a lot of traffic. People are easygoing. Visually, I've seen more beautiful women in Belo Horizonte than any other city I've been to in Brazil except Aracaju. Most people say the most beautiful women in Brazil are in Belo Horizonte. The Afro-Brazilians were very visible in that city. I saw so many beautiful black women. You'll mostly see whiter Brazilians downtown at the malls in common places. local say all the locals said that all Negroes live in the favelas, which are far away, but they are there. Um, like I mentioned earlier, I did an Airbnb experience tour in Belo Horizonte to get the lay of the land. Um, it's a good place to visit. Like Brother Dennis said, Central Market, a lot of food, a lot of people. And on Sundays, they have a street fair downtown. Um, in my opinion, the city was kind of basic. You know, it wasn't like, I didn't feel like the architecture was eye popping. It was just kind of normal buildings, nothing really, you know, no designs that was really like modern. You know what I mean? Like, like trendy. Um, so for a person that likes to take pictures, I really didn't see too much where I could really take some good, pictures where people are like, wow, what city is this? But that's kind of how I viewed it visually. But like I said, it's calm and pleasant. It's a city you can live in if you don't need all the glitz and glam. I will touch on, for brothers into pay for play. Um, I won't list the places, but I'll just kind of tell you like there are good options. Where I went, I saw some fine cuatro quality women in establishments. There was another place. Um, I kind of put the photo in the when I was showing the photos, but I mean the spots are pretty in a central area. Um, so I don't talk about migrant that much, but what I mean I do share some things. I do like to share some things, and well, I like to keep it light. Um, when it comes to Tinder, I didn't have any success on Tinder either. If you want to meet regular women, I would say cold approach would be good if you can speak Portuguese. They are very approachable. In my opinion, if you're able to live in Belo Horizonte for a month, I'm sure you will wife a dime. Belo Horizonte is a sleeper. I recommend visiting. So that was kind of my trip report on Belo Horizonte. Anything you want to add? Anything you want to add to that, or?
Well, you definitely need Portuguese. And people have said this repeatedly, and I'm going to say it again. Anywhere, the further away from Rio and Sao Paulo you go, the more you need Portuguese. I mean, there's really no. I mean, if you really want to connect with somebody, it's important to speak the language. And it's worth its weight in gold. Language ability is worth its weight in gold. Because using a translator gets tiresome after a while. Particularly when you're trying to, if you're maybe in a, not an emergency situation, but an urgent situation, or you're trying to communicate with a lady friend or whatever, you're having a disagreement, it's important to be able to express yourself the way you want to. Belo Horizonte, like I said, a lot of nice people, good entertainment options. The only thing I don't like about it is that there's no beach and you got a lot of LGBTQ. For a straight man, that might be a problem. But other than that, I can definitely see, if you want to get away from the chaos in Rio, because Rio, you'll burn yourself out. I love Rio, but Rio can be too much at times, especially if you're living in Copacabana and places like that. You'll burn yourself out, even when you don't want to, even when you ain't trying to. So,
wow.
Yeah, somebody asked, which city did you get the most treatment, the best treatment? Here, Fortaleza, and Belo Horizonte. Global Paper, he said the same thing over and over again. He said, but he's right though. You need Portuguese. You need that.
No, I agree.
You need that Portuguese, man. It's worth learning. It's worth learning. If you plan on spending any amount of time in Brazil, Portuguese is worth learning. Trust me, I can vouch for that 100%.
I know. I hate that you have to learn Portuguese because the Spanish speaking countries, the women seem a little bit more patient. They seem like if you're on your phone using translator, they just sitting there smiling, waiting for you to figure it out.
True.
Brazilian women seem like this is weird. Why are
Yeah,
you?
they kind of some of them even even with my little ability that I have, I think my Portuguese is mediocre. But even with my ability, I've had some women look at me like I'm from outer space. You know, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Hell
But
no. JM said, "Can I get by with Spanish in Brazil?" Hell
no,
no.
man, no,
Even
nah,
with the overlap of certain words, like I brought a Colombian there and she couldn't use her Spanish. They're like, huh?
nah. You can't. You get some people that can understand you a little bit, but for by and large, it's just not going to work the same.
Yeah, man. You got you got to, or else you're gonna be paying for pros.
Exactly. I mean, you're not gonna have as much leverage with Spanish. I mean, if you know Spanish, I mean, you can learn Portuguese quite easily because it's pretty much the same grammar and the same. A lot of the words are the same or similar. So if you already know Spanish, you may as well invest the time and the effort in learning Portuguese because a lot of it is the same. A lot of
Right.
the words are the same, except the pronunciations are different.
Exactly, man. I'm just gonna say, man, Portuguese are pros. That's what you got to say. Portuguese are pros, man.
Portuguese are pros. That's funny. That is funny. I'm gonna use that, man.
Do they have decent dime pros?
Of
Yes.
course. Of
Oh my God.
course. Of
Yes.
course. Everyone.
You do this like, oh my, oh. Brazil make you go, oh.
I've seen some women here in Brazil that unfortunately I've approached some dimes here for
Mhm.
interviews that turned me down. But it's some girls here that if you brought them back to the United States, somebody will probably try to kill you for that girl. That's how fine they are. That's how sexy a lot of them are. I mean, it's some really, really beautiful women in Brazil.
So my Portuguese is on a third grade level. I'm surviving. Okay, when I go, when they start talking super fast, I get lost.
Yeah, you got to tell them to slow down.
You said, which city has wife material? What would you say?
Well, all over Brazil. All over Brazil. I mean, Rio de Janeiro's hookup culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rio de Janeiro's hookup culture. You can find a quality relationship, but when you go to other cities, you'll have a better time. You'll have a better chance of finding waifu material, so to speak.
Yeah. Even a brother I know that married one, he even say in the outer skirts, in the rural areas, is that's where you would get more, I would say, down to earth. Basically, what we would probably say a country girl. But like you said, anywhere in Brazil, but you got to live there and learn the language, and then you'll meet enough women, and then you'll find one that you vibe with. So I think it's there. I think you have to, I think you have to decide if you want to live in Brazil. Decide what city that you would enjoy, not based on what city where the women are.
Right.
Because there's women everywhere. So choose something based on what you like, and the women will be there.
Right.
Was Tinder not good even in Copacabana? For me, Brazil was just too. I just really wasn't catching. I caught one, but it just wasn't. I wasn't hitting numbers like Fortaleza on Tinder.
I mean, everywhere in Brazil is garbage for me on Tinder, except here in Fortaleza. I get the most hits here in Fortaleza. Rio,
Hey,
I get shit.
hey, hey, fellas, you got two people that's saying Fortaleza is popping on Tinder. Popping.
Yeah. And I met another brother who's here now, he said the same thing. Same thing.
Popping on Tinder. Now, let me say this too. We was joking about this on another channel. Shout out to Razor Rays. We was on a Big Boss channel, but we was talking about the trannies. Now, Fortaleza. Now, anybody that use Tinder, we don't look through profiles. We just swipe, 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 and then if you match, then that's when you see different profiles. Now, I know in Fortaleza, I matched with a lot of trans, and so don't get discouraged by that. Just unmatch and keep moving. But you will see a lot. You will match with a lot on Tinder just because they own there, and some of them look. To be honest with you, some of them look just as good as the women. So be careful. You know what I mean with that. You know. So let me see what else we got in the chat. No Tinder. So my man speaking Brazilian. Let's see. Good wife, material, and man, it's hard to get there. It's hard to get there. Like Teresina, I wanted to go there, but it's like in between Fortaleza and São Luís, and then like the flight is expensive. I'm surprised somebody brought up that city. You've heard of this place?
I heard about it for the first time at the airport on this trip. I'm like, what? Tennessee? What the fuck?
I mean, obviously you definitely won't see any foreign influence because it's hard to get to. I always say Brazilian women look like the women here once they then apply filters and surgery. They are naturally beautiful and shapely. If you cannot speak Portuguese or Spanish, you are not in a relationship with her. You are. I can't argue with you, man, with that one, man. Rio, I got mine. He said, Tinder, got some deceptions, avoid them. Let's see. Are the lady boys honest? No, I think no, they're honest. They are honest. So you can't get tricked. Like I tell guys, if you trick, you want it to be tricked. It's hard to get a lot of those remote towns and cities. Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I interviewed a lady in Rio. She was from Mato Grosso.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to get over there. She wanted me to come visit her, but it's like you got to take more than one plane to get there. I'm like, it's like on the border of Bolivia. I'm like, I don't want to go through all that just to meet one chick, man. You know what I'm saying? Right.
I feel you, man. I'm gonna have a fly to me, man. Brother Willie Lee Jones says, just take a flight, bro. It ain't bad. That's my capital city of where I have my farm. 3.5 hours away from my house. I'll keep that in mind, man. I do want to visit because I wanted to go to the national park, which is called with the sand dunes and the water in it. I can't think of the name right now, but it's a national park. It's beautiful. I can't think of the name right now. I was talking to one in Palmas in the state of Contents and cut it off because it was too difficult to get to. Yeah, man. Is there a city or neighborhood where the rich Brazilians live? You want to talk about that one?
I mean, Brazil's a big country. It's a big country with big cities. I mean, every city has upscale neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? I saw some neighborhoods in Florianopolis that look like Beverly Hills. I saw just recently, I put up a video from Recife. Anybody ever tell you that Brazil is a third world country? Show them that video. That'll straighten them out real quick. I mean, it's some really, really nice upscale places in Brazil. So these notions that Brazil is a third world country are just false.
I think Sao Paulo got like most of the millionaires in Brazil reside in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, I believe it. Y'all
come up on Piauí.
Balneário Camboriú. A lot of rich people there. A lot of wealthy South Americans vacation there.
Okay. This brother putting y'all up on game, man. Hit up this state. Piau, if I'm pronouncing it right. Okay, I'm gonna answer this question, then we're gonna hop into. We're gonna go to Recife. We're gonna go to Recife. Which city has the best food? I can't. The cuisine is for me was pretty consistent city to city, but you have a answer for this one?
Oh, which one?
City with the best food.
It's all good, man. All over Brazil. All over Brazil is good. All over Brazil is good. Especially if you're a seafood lover like me.
Yeah.
If you're a seafood lover, Brazil is tops.
One thing I can't say about Brazil, and I'm surprised with so many, they have like a, homeless population and people not eating. They serve the biggest portions of food. They eat like kings. People with money and us tourists. Anytime I go to a Brazilian restaurant, I get a lot of food that I can't finish. You eat in Brazil. Like
that's why I get fat every time I come here.
You eat, man. That's one thing that I do love. I get a piece of fish fry, it's gonna be a big old piece of fish, for the low. So I'm gonna let me pull up some of my Recife. Let me see what I got on Recife or Recife. Real quick. Yeah, it took me so much time, man, to like go through vids and pictures to organize. Hold on. Let me see. All right, cool. Let me go back. Okay, cool. So we're going to talk about Recife. All right. So I'm just going to go through some shots I got. Let me start at the beginning real quick. What the hell was that? Oh, shit. All right. I'm going to slowly go through because I don't want to have no XX things going on. Yeah, so this is I think when I first arrived Recife.
What year was that?
This was 2019. This was 2019 before the pandemic. And I was like, okay. Looks Rio de Janeiro-ish. And then I think this was a view from my Airbnb. This is kind of sideways. Let me see what's going on. That's not good. Okay, here's so it was a pretty active beach. I was surprised. I don't know what that was, Phil. Oh, I know what that was, but can't show that. Let me see. Where was I at here? Okay, so I went to a mall. But this was before my camera skills got better. Yeah, I was walking through a mall, one of the malls in Recife. Yeah, that's usually part of my routine, and making sure I hit up a mall in every city I visit, because that's the only way you get a feel for the demographics and see what the women look like. So let's be walking around. Let's see. So yeah, this was the mall I went to. Did you go to this mall?
No, I didn't get a chance to. I rolled past it.
Okay, okay. So yeah, this is pretty much their main mall. You can
It's
check
called
out.
the rich person's mall over there.
We rich. We rich. What's this? Some Brazilian food. I always hit up one of the buffet restaurants.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that the buffets in Brazil are excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
Now, do you always go when you hit up a new city? You just hit up a buffet somewhere.
I mean, if I'm in the area and I see one, yeah, I'll go to one.
Okay. Yeah, this is a barber in the mall I went to. I needed a cut. He did push me back, so you got to be very specific. You got to be very specific if you want. I'm making some damn juice. You got to be very specific on your haircut. So yeah, this is one of the beach. This is the beach in Recife. It was a little cutie standing out, and yeah, they was playing volleyball. I thought this was cool. I was like, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to play with her for sure. Let's see. Where is this at? Oh yeah, so this is it's riding down again. So this is somebody I met on Tinder at the time. So if y'all in Recife, man, don't be mad, man. If y'all if you met her, man, and like, man, I thought you never met a gringo before, you know. But she cool. She cool peeps. She cool peeps. So this might be a repeat video. But that's pretty much what I got for Recife. Recife. So let us know. So you was in Recife when?
Last week, I stayed there for a week.
Last week, stayed there for a week. Okay, so you was there a decent amount of time. Yeah, let us know your experience, man. Just touching down, where the vibe you felt, you know what I mean, and just your experience.
Well, I've always been curious about Recife because I'm a beach guy, so I like beach cities. A lot of high-rise buildings along the main beach area. It's called Boa Viagem. That whole strip where you see a bunch of high-rises, that's Boa Viagem. That beach you just saw, that you just showed, that's called Praia do Boa Viagem. Again, I mean, the only drawback with Recife is that it's slow during the week. There's not much popping during the week. Everything goes down on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You got the main beach area that you just showed. Then you got the central area with all the old style buildings, all the colonial buildings. That's very interesting. They got some bars, entertainment downtown, Central Recife. I like it. I like it. I like it. It's a lot of melanin up there. Most of the people are mixed. The water is warm all year round. The only downside with Recife also is that there's sharks in the water.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's true.
It's sharks in the water, so you don't see too many people in the water.
Yeah,
well, you don't see too many people out there surfing, I should say.
Wow. I was looking for one of those shark tails, like dun 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 dun.
I know, yeah. Jaws.
Okay, cool. Now,
but it's a beautiful city. It's definitely worth visiting, and I will go back.
So you will repeat
Yes.
Recife. Now, what about any interactions with women, Tinder? How was that?
I didn't have much luck on Tinder. Uh, I do mostly cold approach. I meet people on the beach, and I believe in meeting. I like meeting girls in the street. I just walk up and start talking. I mean, this with Tinder, you know what I'm saying? You deal with a whole lot of bullshit.
True.
Deal with a whole lot of bullshit. You match with girls, you write them, they don't respond, or you try to get them out on a date, and they don't want to. I mean, it's just a bunch of crap that I'd rather not deal with. I'd rather just engage them face to face. I mean, I do use Tinder, but I use it as a supplement. That's not my bread and butter.
Gotcha. Real quick, somebody asked, how much is a seat at the buffet, or any buffet in general?
Well, in Brazil, it's not so much you paying for a seat. You're paying for the weight of the food. You put your food on a plate at the buffet, you put it on a scale, and they weigh it, and that's how much you pay, depending on how much your food weighs.
Right. Yeah, I usually spend about maybe 15, $20 because I want to try everything. So, you know what I mean? So, one thing, now, how I felt about Recife is that the positive, I felt like it was the cheapest city I've been to. Like, my Ubers was super cheap. Food was cheap. Like, Ubers was like under $5 anywhere I went. Food was super cheap. My Airbnb was relatively cheap. It just seemed like the overall cost of living in Recife was cheap. That was something that I noticed. I don't know if you noticed that or if it was
I
similar.
did,
You noticed that?
especially on the beach. I ordered a whole bunch of shit. I met a lady out on the beach. I ordered like several fucking drinks, a big ass fish with fries and food and pop and shit. And it was only like 120 hay ice, 130 hay ice. You know what I'm saying? Which is
So
like
you
what?
got food on the beach because I couldn't see any restaurants on the beach like I did in Rio, like for Rio, for example.
Well, they got kiosks and they got restaurants across the street. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where you sitting at on the beach.
Okay. It is a long beach. It's a
Very
long.
long, very long, very long.
Did you walk it? I usually try to walk some beaches, but some beaches I can't do it in the evening.
No, it's too long to walk. You can't do it. You can walk Copacabana. You can walk the entirety of Ipanema. You can even try to walk Bahia de Juca. That's a long ass beach too. But you can't walk that beach in Recife. It's too long.
Okay.
It's just too long.
Did you hit any of those? Well, I guess that spot we talked about offline.
I did. I hit two spots. The first one was whack. The second one was a little better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, would you recommend people visit Recife?
Absolutely. It's definitely worth going to look at. Definitely.
Okay.
And if you're, for a black man, it's definitely worth going to look at.
Okay.
Anywhere in the Northeast, in my opinion.
Okay. That's fair. That's one city I would talk about, but I don't recommend that one. But it's just
like I said, it's slow during the week.
Yeah.
There's not much popping in Recife during the week.
I'll be honest. Recife was the reason why I visited some other cities because I had booked it for like 2 weeks because I was hearing about it and I was like, it seemed low key. Let me check it out. I was there for like 4 days and I was just like, man, I can't do this 2 weeks. I gotta go somewhere else. So I got on the bus and I went south. That's how I ended up going to Maceió and Aracaju because the bus ride was maybe like 5 to 6 hours on a bus. And so I did the bus, man. So have you ever did the bus, by the way?
One time.
Okay.
One time. From Rio to this small town called Unamar, which is not far from Cabo Frio. But I give each city, if I visit a new city, I give it a 1 week grace period. 1 week. If I don't like it, I get the hell up out of there. And if I do like it, I'll decide to stay longer. But I give it 1 week.
Okay. Do they have a metro in Copacabana or good public transportation besides Uber?
Yeah, the public transportation in Rio was great. I mean, although I use Uber, there's no reason to catch the bus. You know what I'm saying? Because Uber is so cheap. I do take the train, the subway in Rio, but because there's certain spots that I want to go to in Brazil where, it's just easier to take the train. But Uber is so cheap in Rio, it's not even, you don't even need it.
Oh, yeah. Now, fellas, any of y'all that frequent Brazil or want to stay in Brazil an extended amount of time and want to visit other cities, I guess right now, and even before recently, like I've noticed that the inter-country flights, like going from city to city, is more expensive now. Like I had to pay like $200 to $300 for like a one way to go from like Rio or Sao Paulo to one of these smaller cities, where in the past I used to pay maybe like $75. And then go ahead.
It depends on which city you're flying to, from where you're flying, and the date. If you're doing it on short notice, like for example, I flew from Belo Horizonte to Recife. The shit was like $400. I ain't never spent that much for a flight in Brazil. Never. That kind of pissed me off. But yeah, it depends on where you're going.
$400?
Yeah, U.S.
Yeah, man.
I had no choice. Because I tried to search for a later date. It was all pretty much the same price. So I'm like, man.
Yeah, they got me. I mean, the last 2 trips I did in Brazil, I spent like 2 bands. And I really was expecting that to be a 1 band trip. As far as like as far as like travel and transportation and lodging, I didn't expect to spend over $1,000. It would have been a 2 band trip. And I was like, man. And then people was telling me that, and they're doing this with Colombia too now. So people in Brazil, people with, I guess, a CPF or CFP, a Brazilian ID, they get flights. They get the local rate if they use a CFP. You know what I mean? And I've heard some Americans in Brazil that have gotten the CFP or CPF, so they can get cheaper flights, whether you go to the airport and buy them, or because if you book on them websites like Bogle or whatever, it's an option to put like your CFP number or something like that. So they making us pay more on them third-party sites like Kayak and stuff like that.
Well, case in point, when I was searching for flights from Recife to Fortaleza, I went to Latam. I went to the Latam, the Brazilian site. The fucking flight was like $160. I went to the American site. It was like $320 something. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? How you gonna give me the gringo price like that, man? You know what I'm saying? So
they caught on, man. Because even in Colombia, like I would use Kayak or Skyscanner or something just to get the flight schedule, and then I may go to the main website to look at the flight. Mm-hmm. So Avianca is a Colombian airline, so I did it on Kayak. I seen a cheap price, and then like you said, I went on a U.S. Avianca site, and the price was different. So I just ended up booking it on the Kayak site and got basically a Colombian price. But they're not giving us the same price as locals, man. So so be wary of that. Colombian DR, they up on gringo taxing you on the flights. Sometimes a VPN can help with those flight prices. Yeah, I need to learn how to use that so they don't, you might have
There's an app called PIA, Private Internet Access. Mm-hmm. I pay like $4, $5 a month for it, and it's a VPN you can use on your phone.
Yeah, man. So y'all be careful with that, man. I want to share your I want to pull up your YouTube page because I mean you posted some videos. I don't know if you posted anything for the laser yet.
Not yet.
But you know, you have some nice videos. So just let me know if there's any that you know, any that you want me to play or anything like that. Let me pull it up.
I mean, guys, they tend to like my interviews with the ladies. They tend to like those videos the most.
Okay.
I did one recently with a girl in Recife.
Pull my man channel up. Okay. Let me share the screen. Let's see. Here we go. All right, cool. So, is there anyone in particular?
The top left, second from the left. Thais.
Right here.
Yeah.
All right. Let me know if the audio, if you can hear the audio, or else I'll start it over. So.
Oi.
Hello.
Seu nome?
Meu nome é Thaís.
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 Muito prazer.
Prazer é meu.
I met Thaís here on the beach. Eu encontrei a Thaís aqui na praia e eu achei ela muito bonita. A Thaís, de onde? Você é de onde?
Eu sou aqui mesmo de Recife.
Recife?
Isso.
Muito bom.
Eu sou universitária. Eu curso enfermagem da área de saúde. E também sou auxiliar administrativo da empresa de construção civil.
Muito bom, muito bom. Obviamente você gosta da praia. Obviously you like the beach.
Demais. E muito. Gosto muito de praia, gosto muito de sol, cerveja, adoro.
Qual tipo de cerveja você gosta? What type of beer you like?
Heineken.
Oh my God.
Heineken, Budweiser, Stella.
Eu gosto de Budweiser.
Budweiser.
Stop the video right there. Stop it right there.
Budweiser, Stella.
Okay.
Stop it right there. Now you saw when she said, "Come sit here." That girl, who she was talking to was another lady I met on the beach. When I first got out there, it was a lady I met that was sitting nearby, and she told me to come sit with her, so I did. So I told her what I do. I said I got a YouTube channel, whatever. So this girl here, Thais, she went to the shower. And when she walked from the shower, she walked past me and we locked eyes. We had eye contact for a little too long. So she went to sit down and I told old girl, I said, hey, I'm gonna go interview her right quick. So I went to interview this girl and this other lady walks up behind me. You see her shadow. You can see her walk up behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And Thais was like, come sit here. And in my mind, I'm thinking, please don't go sit over there because you're gonna fuck up the whole interview. And thank God she didn't. And so she had a problem with me, you know, interviewing this girl. And she told me, she whispered in my ear, she said, you remember that melanin you were talking about? Well, right now it's mine today. It's mine. I'm like, oh, shit. So yeah, man.
Oh,
so that's
man.
the backstory with this interview.
Okay. You want me to continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Eu dei o Heineken, eu dei.
Não gosto de Heineken. Prefiro Brahma. Itaipava também é bom.
Itaipava. Conheço Itaipava.
Corona.
Terrível, horrível.
Corona não.
Corona horrível. O que você gosta de fazer para divertir?
O que eu gosto de fazer? Eu gosto muito de viajar, eu gosto muito de conhecer outros estados, outras regiões, outras culturas. Eu estava conversando com uma amiga que eu vou viajar, uma viagem internacional, porque eu gosto muito dessa mistificação de cultura, porque eu sou muito curiosa, na verdade é essa.
Você conhece qual estados no Brasil?
Conheço Maceió, Paraíba, Rio Grande do Norte, Rio Grande do Sul, São Paulo e só.
Ok. Você conhece fora do Brasil?
Não saí fora do Brasil ainda. Minha viagem fora do Brasil é marcada para julho.
Tá.
Isso. É ali entre Europa e Ásia.
E Ásia? Você queria?
É o que eu quero. É o que eu gosto. É o que eu pretendo.
Man, your Portuguese is pretty good, man.
It's I think my Portuguese is decent, but it's learning the language goes a long way, like I said. A long way.
Oh man. Yeah, man. You had a fluid conversation, man. That's how you get the results that you are looking for.
And just to touch on that, when I first started learning it, I was learning it the wrong way. I was learning Portuguese through reading and writing instead of listening. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I would come to Brazil, I would have difficulty. Even today, I still have difficulty hearing and listening. But what will skyrocket your learning is when you learn how to say different things in everyday situations. Like, oh, can I sit here? Oh, why are you doing this to me? Or, hey, where have you been lately? It's just basic stuff. You just learn basic phrases that you say every day in normal conversation, and that'll skyrocket your learning. That will skyrocket your ability to converse with people. Once I start doing that, it just my ability improved quite rapidly.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Can you speak Spanish?
Very little.
Very little. Okay. How many brothers you know that can speak Spanish and Portuguese at the same level?
Nobody off the top of my head. Man, one. Rafael from BMO. I think he speaks Spanish and Portuguese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You got a lot of interesting vids on your channel, man. So that's good shit, man. So I want to get into our final city of discussion, which I would say out the three we're talking about today, I would say my favorite, Fortaleza,
Ceará.
And you're currently in Fortaleza right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So brother is currently in Fortaleza. Let me open up my Fortaleza folder, see what I got. Yeah, man, that's I definitely recommend this city to go to. So I think I went down there during this festival. Let me share my screen real quick. Hold on. Somebody said, isn't he
Brazilian?
Yeah.
Me? No, I'm not Brazilian. Who's he talking about? Who you talking about?
Yeah. Who you referring to? Pile. All right, let me share my screen. So yeah, I've been to Fortaleza twice. This was my first time going in 2019. Man, get a picture by the Fortaleza sign, man. If you can. I try to get one in every city. So yeah, this is some of the beaches. This is one of the beaches. This is not Praia del Futuro. This is the other one. not too far from. I stayed at Hotel Evis in Fortaleza. That's where I stayed at, and it's not too far from the beach. So this just some. This is a pretty nice looking beach. It's not as clear blue as the beaches in Rio. Huh?
That's Betama.
Betama?
Betama, yeah. That's the main beach in Recife.
No, which Fortaleza?
Huh?
This Fortaleza.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's Betama.
Okay.
That's the name of the beach area.
Yeah, sometimes they have concerts there. Some of them think they could hoop. This was somebody cutie. Croco Beach.
Croco Beach.
You been there yet?
Yeah, I was there on Saturday.
Yeah, so make sure y'all hit this spot up when y'all go to Fortaleza. You'll see a nice diverse crowd there. Uh-oh, I had these at the time. Let's see, this is at night. What was this? This was like a little fair going on. What was on here? It actually looks nice out here, you know. Let's see what else I got going on.
It's like the little.
And one thing about Brazil, man, they very active, man. Sports, working out.
Yes, they are.
It's one of the malls. Have you hit up any of the malls yet in Brazil? Where was this at? Let's think
Fortaleza?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's two of them. It's two of them here. Two big ones here. I've been to both of them.
So this is Croco Beach. This is Croco Beach. There's usually a lot of people out. Let me see. Yeah, the beach is pretty big, pretty spaced out.
It's pretty lit out here, man. This floor's rug chair.
But this is still Croco Beach. what is this real quick? So how much time you got left in
I'm here for like maybe another 9 days.
Okay. Uh-oh. You'll definitely find some women at the beach for sure. That is a place for, and this is Fortaleza at night. They have a pretty nice skyline. So yeah, that is Fortaleza. So how many days have you been? How many days have you been there so far? This is day what?
I got here on Wednesday.
You got there on Wednesday?
So it's
Okay.
been like 5 days.
Okay. So how are you feeling it? How are you vibing to it? What you know?
I like it, man. I like it. It's the beaches are nice, the women are nice, good food, good places to walk. It's cool, man. It's a nice change of pace from Rio. I'm not going to Rio. People ask me, am I going back to Rio on this trip? I'm not going back to Rio. I'm done with Rio on this trip. I'm done with it.
You got
Rio's cool.
What city you
What,
got to
kind
go?
of, what type of crowds do you expect for Carnival in April? Where? What city are you talking about?
Oh, they moved Carnival? They moved the date?
Yeah, in Rio, they moved it to April. I think that's what you're talking about. I don't know because I don't spend Carnival in Rio. To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of big crowds being in the street around. I'm just not. That's just big crowds, drunk people. That's just not fun to me. It's cool one time just to have the experience, but after that, I'm not really into it.
Okay.
But there's always a lot of people, especially in the Recife. Recife got a huge carnival, huge. Belo Horizonte, huge. Salvador Bahia, huge. All over the country. Really, I mean, large crowds.
Okay. So what's your lineup looking like in Fortaleza, man? Because you said Tinder was popping, man.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Like 3 nights ago, I was coming off the beach, and I walked past this restaurant, and it was this sister sitting out there by herself at the restaurant, a little outdoor patio area. So I walked past and I said, where is everybody? Some bullshit question just to make conversation. I said, where is everybody? She's like, everybody's going home. I said, are you by yourself? She said, yeah. So I went inside the restaurant out to the patio area just to sit by her. And so we hit it off right away. Good chemistry. The sun went down, it got dark. We went out to the beach and messed around on the beach at dark at night. And then we went back to my house. We took a shower and we, did the deed.
Okay.
Yesterday, 2 days ago, I should say, I was walking the beach walk out here in the morning, and this girl, she looked kind of Asian, but she's from here. She stopped along the beach walk and said, she was on her bike. She said, are you Gabriel? And I'm like, you talking to me? She said, are you Gabriel? I said, no, I'm not Gabriel, but I'm Dennis, though. How you doing? And she was real cute, too. Real cute girl. So we started chopping it up a little bit, and we exchanged Instagrams. She rolled off, and then like 30 minutes later, she texted me, and she said, I turned around, went back the other way, and you weren't there. I'm like, hey, you're gonna see me again, and I guarantee you that. So that's the type of stuff that goes down here, man. That's the type of stuff that goes down. I mean, interactions with women here are so free-flowing and natural. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to think too much.
How would you say the level of beauty from women?
Talent,
versus
to me,
Rio?
it's right up there with Rio. It's right up there. I would say 1A and 1B. It's right up there. Except here, see, in Rio, they're accustomed to seeing gringos. They're accustomed to us. They're used to seeing us. Here, not so much.
Right.
So you're gonna get a little more attention up here. And if you can speak Portuguese, you're lethal.
Right.
Lethal.
Right. Maybe so. I was so surprised with the women in Fortaleza. You know, they're, you know, I mean, they wear a manicure, like they dress nice. Like I went to the mall, like they was with fresh sneaks, fresh clothes. They dress nice.
That's how it is in Manaus. You go to the malls, very classy looking women. They dress very nice. They're well put together. That's how it is over there too.
Wow. Manaus, that's the Amazon, all right?
Yes.
I'm surprised. I mean, I guess I got this mentality at the Amazon, they still a little bit.
No, hell no. That's a big city in the middle of the jungle.
Wow.
That's what it is.
Wow. You know what I like about some of the Brazilians, especially the women in Fortaleza, I noticed, you know how women have a widow's peak and their hair grow out of it, but it got the little V. Like I be looking so sexy to me, man. Like I noticed that a lot. But the women out there, man. Wow. What about the any Tinder hookups outside of the cold protein?
Not yet. Not yet. I mean, I have a system when it comes to Tinder. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna share it here. With Tinder, you got a lot of girls on there that are not trying to meet anybody. You got a lot of girls on there that'll waste your time. You got a lot of girls on there that are window shopping. Girls on there that are just trying to get validation. So the way to cut through all that bullshit is when I sign up for Tinder Gold.
Right.
So it's the paid version of Tinder. So with Tinder Gold, you can basically see who likes you. Instead of doing all this endless swiping, you can see who swiped right on you. And I just pick from the ones that I like, the ones that swiped right on me. I match with them, and then I send them a text message. I'll send them a DM or whatever. And in that DM, I'll say, "Hola, pergunta," or "Eu tenho pergunta." I have a question. Now, this will pique their interest, okay? Because most guys, when they write a girl on Tinder, they're like, "Hi, beautiful," hey, some other bullshit. So when you say pergunta, I have a question, this will pique their interest, and they're gonna be like, what's your question? And I'll ask them flat out. I'll say, you want to go out with me? Yes, I conmigo. And if she responds with anything other than a yes, I unmatch her. Okay. If she doesn't respond within 24 hours, or she say something like, no, she said, "Oh, I don't know you," or let's keep talking here, unmatch them.
Right.
Because they're just there to waste your time. Either she wants to fuck with you or she doesn't. Either she wants to hook up and meet or she doesn't. If she says yes, I'll get her WhatsApp and try to set up plans or whatever. That's to cut through all the endless texting, and I ain't got time for that. Either she wants to deal with you or she doesn't.
Right. What part of Fortaleza are you staying in right now?
I'm in Meireles. I'm like 1 block from the beach, the Beira Beach.
Okay. So you in a decent area. Now I did, as far as safety, somebody asked this question before. I did some walking in Fortaleza one time, and I don't know if I was in a bad area or what, but I seen a dude with a ankle bracelet with the gel ankle bracelet on, like the monitoring bracelet.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I'm in the hood somewhere.
Well, here on the beach, when you got the main beach area here in Fortaleza, and on opposite ends you got hood. It gets a little hood. It gets a little rough. The more interior into Brazil, the more interior into Fortaleza you go, the rougher it gets. But I never felt unsafe here. I mean, of course, you got to watch your back. You got a police presence here, especially in this area. But I never felt any more danger than I do in my own home city of Chicago. So.
Right. But people do. I mean, be mindful of your surroundings. It's not Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
No, it's not.
It's in a different country.
I mean, I'm from a big city anyway, so I'm accustomed to watching my back. So.
Okay. So out of Fortaleza, Recife, Belo Horizonte, what would you say you like the most so far?
I like Fortaleza the most
Okay.
out of
And
all
why?
the three that I've visited.
And why?
Uh, the beaches, there's more activity going on during the week. Uh, the women are a little more receptive here. Not that they're not receptive in the other cities, but I get the most success here when it
Okay.
comes to dating and stuff like that.
Okay. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I pretty much say wherever I got the most matches, that's on the top of my list.
Exactly.
So I felt the same way about Fortaleza. So yeah, y'all definitely put that at the secondary city. You know, we hit up a lot of us hit up DR and go to multiple cities in DR, Colombia, go to multiple cities in Colombia, Brazil. Most people just hit Rio. You know what I mean? Hit multiple cities in Brazil too. You know? Um, Dennis done put out some game, confirmed some cities, so check out Fortaleza. You know, I concur. You know, that's right behind Rio. You know, you can add some other ones. You can add some other ones as you go. But I would say as a starter, I would probably say Fortaleza if you want to branch out from Rio. You know, um, you'll definitely have more chances hooking up than going to Salvador. In my opinion.
Why you say that?
Man, Salvador, you know, I mean, as Salvador, I didn't get laid in Salvador, so that was like a big L for me, and I make you know, I mean, I have to bang something when I travel somewhere, and I use the same tools that I use anywhere. In Salvador, I did not bang, and I was just like, no, you know,
It's
obviously I
funny you
got
say that
uh-huh.
because I didn't have much success in Salvador either. I mean, I felt that in Brazil, period, I feel that most Afro-Brazilian women pay me no attention. That's been my experience ever since I started coming here. Ever since I started coming to Brazil, most of them pay me no attention.
Yeah.
I get the most play from the mixed Brazilian women.
That's true. That's fair. I agree. You know, I know it's reasons. I know it's reasons behind that, and I've noticed this in Latin America too. You know, um,
I prefer white or lighter skin for the most part in South America.
I can see that. I can see that. I can see that.
They
When it
prefer,
comes,
a lot of the women prefer straight out white or lighter skin.
true,
But it's still superior here for a black man than it is in the United States. That is 100% certain.
yes. Especially with a black American.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you definitely on a different scale. Let's see.
I remember when you said about the all-in lounge or the Vitrini lounge in Rio. You said that you can go in there and pop bottles, but them white girls, they're not gonna care that you popping bottles.
Man,
And that stuck with me too. I thought about that when I went up in there, and I said he was right.
yeah, I haven't been to Florianopolis, but I could imagine like I could walk in like I got money, but it's just like okay,
It don't matter.
they eating too. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, if you got an ego like some of us do, and feel like we could walk in a club and spend some money and look nice, smell nice, there's some places where your ego gonna be tested. You know,
Where's Global Paper? What do we got to say about this?
Global Paper.
Global Paper, come out here, man.
I mean, for real, man. Like my ego, I ain't gonna say your ego will be challenged in some parts of Brazil.
Yeah, you will get your feelings hurt. You will get your feelings hurt if you. And I said this in my observations video for Rio de Janeiro. If you come down to Brazil thinking, hey, you know, I'm the man, I got all these bitches, you know, I'm the man, you know, you are well on your way to getting your feelings hurt.
Telling you, man. Guys clout me, man. On one video I did with BMT, and I said, man, I had a lonely night, and they're like, how is that possible in Brazil? I'm like,
It's very possible.
yeah. If I'm not trying to pay every day, yeah, it's possible.
Right.
You know, and I was just like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But you know, you got people on YouTube that, you know, and shout out to one master teacher because he talked a lot about picking up women in Brazil easily, you know, but
Brazil is not listed. It's easier. It's easier than the United States, yes, for the average man. But
right,
some guys give the impression that women are ready to suck your dick as soon as you step off the plane, and that's not true. Don't come here with that expectation, or you're gonna be disappointed. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
There are some nights you're not gonna have anybody. There's some weeks, you're gonna have a bad week. You're gonna have bad days. You may have a good day. I mean, it's just like anywhere else, man. Jay Clyde said you gotta take one with you to All In. Yeah, All In, man. Them girls ain't no shit. Them girls up in there, they ain't no shit, man. They're just there to look pretty and take pictures and try to meet whatever band is playing there. They ain't
right.
You know what I'm saying?
They do, because there do be some Brazilian big. I don't be knowing them, but I could tell by they drip. You know, they may have on some jewelry, or you see how they move. So it looked like it'd be some high, you know, well-known people that I may not know be walking in All In. So I'm just like, you know,
it's not a good place. It's not a good place to meet. And I don't think nightclubs in general are a good place to meet women anywhere. I just don't. I think there's too much working against you, especially in the social media era, in the era of the social media. In the past, before social media, it was easier, but now I think it's just you're better off looking elsewhere.
Let me answer some of these questions real quick, then we'll wrap it up. How's the cost of living in Brazil? I would just briefly say it varies from city to city. Obviously, the more expensive cities like Rio hit my pocket. Sao Paulo can be expensive. All the other cities, for the most part, I would say pretty reasonable. So, what you got on that?
It depends on where you live. It depends on what city you're living in and how you're living. What type of place you're living in. Do you have a house? Do you have an apartment? Do you have multiple bedrooms? Are you in a hood? Are you in a nice neighborhood? I mean, it really depends. It's hard to answer that question. That's like asking how much is the cost of living in the United States. It depends on where. It depends on a type of living arrangement. It really depends. It varies.
Right. I would say out of the cities that I've been to, I would say Recife, which looks like it's spelled Recife. That was like the cheapest city I've seen in Brazil. Can African brothers flourish like you American brothers? I think so. I talked to a brother on a flight. He was from Mozambique, because I think they speak Portuguese in Mozambique. There's another Portuguese speaking country, couple in Africa, by the way. But I think you go over there. Go ahead.
Angola.
Oh yeah, Angola. Yep.
What's the other one? The islands.
Cape Verde.
Yeah, Cape Verde.
So yeah, it's a few. So I think African brothers could go over there. My Nigerian brothers that like to spend money, you definitely could go over there and show them y'all can flex with them Brazilian man. You know, it'll be interesting seeing some Nigerians in Brazil just balling out, man. That'll be different, man. It's Jay Clyde. It is definitely not as easy as fellas try to make it seem, especially without Portuguese. Is it really possible to have a long-term relationship in Brazil, long distance? In my opinion, hell no.
No. What did that brother say? I don't know if it was your podcast or somebody else. He said that your penis cannot reach across the ocean.
Yeah, somebody else. I know you.
Was that yours?
That was that was somebody on the panel. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's true. Long distance relationships don't work, man.
Brazilian women out of the Latin countries, we've been to, they are the most sexual demanding. When I say Brazilian women I've interacted with, the few that I have, having sex one time is not enough. And that's sometimes with pros too. So they need it. You not there? Talking about 2 or 3 months?
Nah, they gonna get it.
They
gonna get it. You better believe that. Don't think that she waiting for you to come back months down the line. She ain't. She's getting dicked down by somebody.
High sex drive, man. You got better chances of a woman in the United States to go without sex longer than a Brazilian woman, and that's no shade. That's just reality. And we like that about guys like that about Brazilian women. I had more success with regulars in Colombia. I don't know about Brazil yet. Let's see. Do you brothers get by with English, or do you have to learn Portuguese? We mentioned this earlier, but yes, you do want to learn the language unless you're going to be paying for pros, in which I said Portuguese or pros. So pick your poison, man. Portuguese
Global
or pros.
paper. Where's global paper? Come answer that question, bro. Take care of that. I know. Global paper. Take care of that question.
Are Caucasian girls feeling brothers? I would say, yeah. Not everyone you pick, but yeah, there are a lot of. If you like white women, beautiful white women, I would say Brazil is a place to go to get you, to hook up with a beautiful white woman for sure. I personally feel like the most beautiful white women I've seen have been Brazilian women.
Yeah, they got some asses too. They got ass, a lot of them.
Let's see. Have you noticed any difference in how Brazilian women behave for one reason or another? Yes, Rio versus Brazil. You want to add to that?
Have you noticed any difference between how Brazilian women behave from one region to another? Well, like I said, in Rio, it's hookup culture. In Rio, it's hookup culture. Other places, not so much. Other places, you got to actually be there for a while, get to know people. But it is possible. It is possible to hook up quickly in some other cities. I've hooked up quickly here in Fortaleza.
Let's see. Would Brazilian women accept the fact that you want to be with multiple women? I don't get that vibe. But go ahead.
No. He said, would Brazilian women accept the fact that you want to be, if you be honest with them, yeah. As long as you're upfront with them.
They be jealous. The pros be jealous. The pros be more jealous than regular girls. They be acting
I don't get that shit at all. I don't get that at all. I don't get that at all, man. At all. Well, I'm like, you got a different dick in your mouth every day and you jealous of me? What the fuck?
The audacity. It's J. Clyde visiting 2 or 3 months a year ain't gonna keep a Brazilian
Hell
chicken.
no. Don't even think you can. Don't think she's sitting by the computer waiting for you to fucking call her.
We're gonna have to do a show. I'm gonna have to get you and J. Clyde because this question comes up and I usually don't have enough time to really elaborate on it. Because we're gonna just get to the bottom of relationships in Brazil, long distance living there. We just gonna have to do that because we're gonna do that.
What's that?
We're gonna have to just talk about relationships in Brazil, long distance.
Yeah.
Culture. Because we talk about Brazil. Colombia and DR a lot with relationships. So we're gonna talk about Brazil.
Buck Travel, look who's in the chat.
Let's see, ever had experience with dancers? What's up, Romeo Peso, man? We are family, man. We are family, man.
Oh my God.
We are family, man. I know he be poking around, man. But I know he got love for you, Dennis, man. I know he got love for you, man. Experience with
he did say something right. He said the pros are jealous because they don't want you to spend money elsewhere. That is true.
Yeah. I got a lot to catch up. Y'all been on it. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by dancers, but I guess I'll say yeah. You know, Brazilian women's way to possessive and jealous. Let's see what I'm missing. I would say I can't answer that. I can't compare them to other Latin women, but I would say they have that Latin trait of being possessive. But I won't say jealous though, because they do not respond on WhatsApp like Dominicans and Colombians. Like the good thing about Brazilian women is you could talk to them every couple of days, and there's no hard feelings. You know.
Nah, not really. They don't hold grudges for too long.
Yeah, they don't need attention like that. That's kind of scary too. They don't need attention like that, you know. Let's see, man. Would you recommend visiting Belo Horizonte for the first time? If you got something lined up, yes. If not, no. You please have something lined up if you go to Belo Horizonte. Better sex game, Brazilian women. Most guys are probably gonna say Brazilian women because they could, you know, that's the consensus. Brazilian woman, number one. He always going that buck travel. I've been going to Brazil since 03. I was pulling regular chicks back then without Portuguese.
I mean, sure, it's possible. It's possible. Nobody's saying it's impossible to pull it out Portuguese, but if you can speak the language, it's gonna skyrocket.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, man. Can foreigners buy land in Brazil? Yes, which is a good thing. One of the few countries that we travel to that you can buy land as a foreigner. The pros are jealous because they don't want you to spend money elsewhere. That's true. It is true that most Black Brazilian women hook up with white men. You know, I've heard it. A lot of Black women do not be in the pro scene like that. So I've noticed this in Colombia too. I mean, when it comes to pay for play, Africa, Black women in general, I don't know if it's in our DNA, but Black women in general don't sell themselves like fair-skinned women. You know what I mean? So hopefully nobody takes offense to that. But Black women are more conservative across globally. So guys probably don't see a lot of Black women because of that also. You know, it is what it is. Let's see. Y'all brothers angering the sisters back in the States. They probably not even tripping. They feel like they got so many sense. As a Black man, where in Brazil do you feel most comfortable? As far as safety, I mean, guys are going everywhere in Brazil, so it's not a place where people kind of like giving you the warning signs as far as like, you know, they racist or crime or something like that. Romy, okay, these guys are going at it. Do they enjoy being spoiled? Brazilian women, a lot of them got jobs, so I mean they don't have that expectation, but I'm pretty sure there's some that do like to be spoiled. Is 29 too old to go to Brazil? Hell no. You got 60-year-olds getting it in. Have you noticed any good business opportunities in Brazil? I can't really speak on that. I mean, I'm pretty sure there is. Obviously, we see more guys with businesses in Colombia and DR, but I'm pretty sure with opportunities in Brazil. You want to add to that?
Well, I mean, my thing is this. Why would you want to earn money in a weaker currency? you have an American dollar.
Right.
You know, you want to leverage that. You want to find a way to earn American dollars and leverage that in places like Brazil and Colombia. You don't want to come down there and earn in reais. You don't want to earn in Brazilian reais. Why?
Right. Right.
That's just how I look at it. Some people think differently, but
I always look at, if I do a business in a foreign country, is to make money off the tourists, Americans. So Americans spend money on Airbnbs and restaurants. So that's pretty much in play. If you want to, that's what I look at as an opportunity as an American. And this is my last question, man, because then I got to cut out, head to the gym. But I hear it's a lot of red tape in Brazil for business too. So that's something I'm not too familiar with. I wish I could get somebody like Alan Harper to talk about some of these things, but he's not ready to get back on YouTube yet. But that is something we could talk about more, because Brazil not going nowhere. It's still a lot of people interested. No one is fatigued of Brazil at the moment. So, Brother Dennis, man, you know what I mean? We rocked out almost 2 hours, man. So I appreciate your time, man. We definitely gonna hook up soon, and and get it in, man. What's cracking you up, man?
The peso man.
I like the peso, man. He keep me entertained, man. He keep me entertained, man. He keep me entertained. But yeah, man, I appreciate all my people that support, man. You know what I mean? They supporting you too, indirectly or directly, man. All the people that chimed in, tuned in. So I appreciate y'all that came on, or any of y'all on Dennis' channel that came on to check it out. So y'all, I appreciate y'all, man. And yeah, man, we gonna link up, man. Enjoy the rest of your days. I ain't seen Dennis laugh like this. It's hard to get him to laugh, man.
I'm laughing at Buck Travel too. Buck Travel and peso.
Because I don't know, they all when they both in the stream, man, they always at each other, man. I be wanting break. It'd be hard for me to break, man, to laugh, man. But it's good banter, man. But man, enjoy yourself, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you post some vids of Fortaleza on your YouTube channel. You know what I mean? If y'all don't know, subscribe to Dennis' channel, Dennis John Pierre, and you know what I mean? We'll wrap soon, man. We'll try to set up that other broadcast so we can talk about relationships.
All right, for sure, man. Take care.
All right, peace out, y'all.